everyone. Good morning. Welcome. So I'm excited to introduce some talented software engineers who are making significant strides in the field of geovisualization, a crucial area for understanding and leveraging geographic data in business. So let me introduce Venkat Sari and Aliva, software engineers with Cogent IBS. And we also have Edgar here with us, Associate Director Digital Transformation at Cogent IBS, who will be driving this tech social. And of course, in between, if anyone has any questions, please raise your hand or you can always post it in the chat here. So let's get started and let's make this session both informative and inspiring. So over to you, Edgar.
All right, thank you, Archana. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see more about this different way in which we can visualize data and understand all of these business processes in a different way. No, maybe not that traditional, but for sure very particular and very, graphical, I would say. So really looking forward to that. And I would also encourage Liva and Becca's side to share with us a little bit about their background before they start, and then let's get started with it. Okay, so over to you guys.
Yeah, hi all. Yeah, my name is Venkata Sai. I am a Flutter developer. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Aliva Raut, and I'm a software engineer as a backend developer. So today, today we are going to talk about data visualization. So should I start or
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So let's talk about we are talking about data visualization. So let's start from the what is data. So basically, data is the information that has been collected and measured or observed. Like it's often used to make decision or analyze situation. It can come in many forms such as number, text, images, or sounds, or uh, it can be as simple as a list of names or as complex as a million of uh, temperature like reading from like around the world. So what now comes to what is data visualization. So data visualization is the process of turning the data into visual formats like charts, graphs, or maps so that it is easier to understand and interpret. The goal is to help people see patterns, trends, and insight that might not be obvious uh, from looking at raw data alone. So examples of data visualizations, like we can use bar chart, line graphs, pie chart, heat maps, scatter plots, and maps. Like there are lots of way to visualize data. For example, in bar chart shows comparison between two different categories, like the numbers of vote. Like for example, the number of votes for each candidate in an elections, or like similarly line graphs like displays trends over time, such as stock market prices over the past year, and pie chart like it illustrates how the whole is divided into parts like how a budget is spent on different categories. So heat maps is like we use color to show the intensity of data values in a specific areas, like showing the busiest times in a restaurant. So some scatter plots like show relationship between two variables, like comparing height and weight across the populations. And map visualize geographic data such as where customers are located across the country. So now comes to what is the importance of data visualization? Like how it is important. So it eases understanding. For example, imagine you have a spreadsheet with hundreds of rows showing the sales number for different products in various regions. It is tough to make sense of all the data. But if you use a map to show the sales of each region with different colors representing different sales level, that it's much easier to see where sales are high, where they are low. This visual map simplifies data, making it easier for you to understand overall sales performance at a glance. Sorry, sorry, why that's Ankit, can you please share?
Yeah, Alima, I'm sharing.
So, yeah, I was talking about this importance of data visualization. So, if the first point, to understand the first point, it eases data visualization, eases understanding. So, it is like imagine you have a spreadsheet with 100 of rows showing a sales number for different products in various regions. Like it is tough to make sense of all the data, but if you use a map to show a sales in each region with different colors representing different sales level, it is much easier to see where sales are high and where they are low. This visual map simplifies data, making it easier for you to understand the overall sales performance at a glance. Like so it also enhance decisions making. Example, say, if you'll take like let's say you are a city planner deciding where to build new schools or maybe so if you have a map showing population density by neighborhood, it can easily you can easily see where most people live and where there might be a need for more school. This visual information helps you make better decision about where to allocate resources, as opposed to just looking at numbers in a table. So it communicates insight effectively. Like for example, suppose you want to explain your team where your company's customer base is growing fastest. Instead of showing them a long list of growth percentage by region, you could use a heat map that visually highlights the regions with highest growth rate, and this makes it easier for everyone to quickly grasp the key insights without needing any interpret complex data. So it's like identifies relationships. So imagine you are a retail manager looking to understand the relationship between your store location and their sales performance. You could use a map to plot each store's location and use different size circles to represent how well each store is doing in sale by like layering this on maps showing populations density on or average income in those areas. You might notice the store in higher income um, areas tend to have leverage circle integrating indicating better sales performance. This visual comparison helps you to see the relationship between stores and the locations. So, uh, so now can we go to the next slide? So now like uh, why should we use map? Like here there are multiple options we have for visualizing data, but here we are talking uses of maps. So like why should we use those maps? So first, like the map shows where things happen. Like for example, map helps you to see the locations of events, subjects, or people. This makes it easier to understand how things are distributed across different areas. Um, Imagine you are interested in where the most traffic accident happen in your city. A map can show you exactly which intersections are the most dangerous by highlighting them in red without like so without a map, it is like how it would be hard to see just by looking at the list of locations and areas. So also map reveals like geographical pattern. It shows the patterns that are related to geography, like showing something changes as you move from one place to another. Uh, Consider like a map that shows a spread of flu outbreak. You might see that flu is spreading from one neighborhood to near others nearby. This pattern could be harder to notice without visual help of map. Uh, so, and map visualize like movements and flows. It can show how things move from one place to another, such as people, goods, or information. So imagine a map that shows migration patterns with arrows pointing from one country to another, showing where peoples are moving. The bigger the arrow, the more people are moving in that direction. This helps you to see where and how large groups of people are relocating. So, and maps are engaging and intuitive. It is easy to understand because people are familiar with looking at them. They draw people in and make the information more relatable and easier to grasp. So think of a weather map on the evening news. It might be more engaging to see maps showing rains moving across the region than just to hear about it. The visual makes the information more interesting and easier to remember. So also maps helps in uh, decision making. Uh, by showing the data on the map, you can make better decision based on the location, specific insight it provides. Uh, for example, a business owner might use a map showing customer location to decide whether to open a new store. If the map shows more customers are in the north part of the city, it makes sense to open the new store there rather than somewhere else. And map makes complex data accessible. So it is like maps turns complicated data into something visual and simple, making it easier to understand large amount of information at once. So a map shows a global temperature increasing over the past century, make it easy to see how climate changes is affecting different parts of the world so without the map, understanding the data might require looking at complex charts and tables. So, so these are the use cases of maps in analytics, like urban planning, public health sector, like business intelligence, environmental monitoring. So, and after that, we have like the types of maps from Venkat. Say, would you like to? So,
Thank you, Alima. Yeah, from now onwards, I will continue with the same energy. Yeah. Now we will see the types of maps we can use in data visualization. Like here are some types of maps, like grouplet maps, heat maps, dot distribution maps, proportional symbol maps, flow maps, and cartograms. Now we will see the details of these maps. Yeah. Choroplot maps. These maps, describes the data, it shows the data by shading those regions. Like here, if you see here the Texas, it's shaded like a small pale blue, but here you see some of the cities has darker things. That means in this let us take the example of population. In this, the population of them, here residing is more than Texas. It gives us the idea, like here, by seeing that here the population of them is higher. Here the population is somewhat less comparing to those things. By seeing this, we can tell, like we can see the relations, like what we are doing, what we have in the every city, every state. Yeah, and in the use cases, we can use these choropleth maps in population density for showing population density. We can use that map for showing election results, like which party won in this, in which state, with by majority. If BJP party won in this state, yeah, we will show that BJP party logo here, and if it is won here, also we will show the same party logo. But we can compare the election results, like how many votes they got in this state, and in this state, by seeing the results, by seeing that number, we can thicken that color. Yeah, here it uses a particular, it chooses that shape of that city or state. As we are dealing with US country, so we are dealing with states. We can use this map for world also, but I thought relevant to US, it will be a better. Yeah. The example you can see, imagine a map US where each state is shaded according to the population count. Yeah. Next, we're gonna use heat maps. In the above choropleth map, it uses the state, but in heat maps, we need particular location data, like latitude, longitude. By that, we can shade, we can point the color here in the map. Like if the heat map uses a color to represent the data value across the geographic area. Okay. This map is used when we have a large data set, like we have like numerous records of these things. Like for example, we can take like coronavirus affected persons or affected areas. You can see in a particular location, we may get like 1,000 cases or 2,000 cases. In a small area, we may get like 1 or 2 cases. By that count, we can maintain that color. We will have an average value for every map, definitely. By that average count, we will give that color to the region. Like you see here it is very red. It is very red here. But you see here in Tennessee or in some other states, we have less. It's greenery. So it means we have some less cases here than comparing to others. So we can use for these things, like use as crime mapping, disease outbreaks, yeah, like coronavirus, retail customer density, like how many customers are there from each city or each, yeah. Like a city map shows areas with the highest number of restaurant visits with hotter colors like red, including more visits. Like, yeah, it's if it is shows red, it is the higher number. It is green, it's a lower number. Here I gave the example of restaurants in US. Like in these areas, maybe the visit of the restaurants is higher than comparing to like Texas or Tennessee or some other states. We definitely, here the catch is we need to have very much large data sets, because if we have a small data set, here we can't map. Like if you have 2,000-3,000 records and we need to map in entire US, we can't use that map. We can use choropleth maps by the state. We can divide the data and we can show in the choropleth maps. Yeah. And next, dot distribution map. This is a very common map we use at most of the cases, okay? Because it points at small locations. Like you see, if I wanna go to any nearest temple, I can see a temple mark in my map that shows a dot distribution map, a particular locations. Like a dot distribution maps uses a dot to represent. we can, yeah, instead of dot, we can use for a temple, we can use temple logo. And for libraries, we can use book logo. Like this is a very common map use. Yeah, we can use this for population distribution, like how many members are there from what in this state. We can use, like when we are traveling, we will definitely see how many Uber drivers are available in my nearest location. That's a DOS. They use Uber car or something as a marker. They will use a Uber car or a small marker to show like that Uber driver is available near my location. That's a dot distribution map. Population distribution, event locations, like I said, temples or libraries, where libraries are located in entire US. Public transports, like where are the locations of public transport, like in here we may have the airport, here we may have a like railway station.
Okay,
Like
I'd like to put in a cybersecurity into here.
Public transports. Yeah, public transport, like we may have like shipyard for transporting the sea goods. Yeah, this is we use in those cases. For a particular location, when we have a particular location, we will use dot distribution maps. Example, a map showing every library in a city with a dot representing each library. Here I gave an example for libraries in US. For every dot, there is a library in that place. Next, we use proportional symbol maps. Here, these maps uses circles to locate that thing. Like when we are talking about oil distribution, we will see how many. Like in a large amount, how many oil distributions are happening in that location. The bigger the radius, the higher the distribution. Here you can see in Texas, it is the radius is very large. So in this place, oil distribution is happening more comparing to any other like this state or this state. Here the oil distribution having very less compared to Texas. So the radius is very big than the others. Like proportional symbol maps uses varying symbol with sizes to show data magnitude. Okay. By the radius, it shows the higher the oil distribution happening here. Like use cases, sales data. Like I said, if you are in this state, if a product sales is higher, we can use a bigger circle to look at in the map, so that for the users it will be easier to understand. Like yes, in this state, the distribution is happening in a quicker way, so that they can make a quicker decision. Like they can install more shops here to decrease the load balancing. Like those things, they can make the decision. Here, if you are keeping like here in this state where the distribution is not happening very well, if you keep 1,000 shops here, it's useless. When you keep a higher distribution area, if you keep higher shops, it will be easier to decrease some balance on load balance. Yeah. By that, we can make that decision. Okay, like here the use case says that a traffic accident. Yeah, this is the most use case, I think. Like these traffic accident definitely will be happening daily. So in that area, if traffic accidents are happening, we can get some idea. Yeah, in this area, traffic accidents is higher, so we will not go through this way. We can go through other way. We can get some idea, like earthquake magnitudes. Yeah, this is also a very good case for proportional distribution map, where when we get we will get some idea, like in this place that earthquake may occur at this time, so we can ignore that place. Like example, a map of a country showing oil distribution with larger circles where there are more branches. Okay, here in Texas, we have like 1,000 branches for oil distribution. Here we may have like only 2 to 3 oil distribution branches. Like this, we can get some idea. Next, flow maps. Yeah. So we may all know, like in US, most of the persons are migrating to one state to another state. So for that reason, we may use flow maps. It will show from which state to which state they are migrating. Like you see here, from one state to here, some other state, they have migrated more. The width of the arrow defines the magnitude of the number. Okay? If the higher the number, the width of the arrow increases. You see from this state, from Canada, I think, Canada to some other state, there the less migrations are happening. So it's a thin arrow. When you compare with this here, it's a very thick arrow. That means higher number of migrations happening from this state. Flow map shows the movement of objects from one location to another. Here we thought of persons like migrating from one state to another state. Yeah, use cases, migration patterns. When we have directions, we can use this map. Okay? Like migration patterns, like we have 2 points definitely here. One is like starting location, one is another destination location. When we have 2 points, when we have a direction too, we can use flow maps here, like trade routes and traffic flows, where the traffic may happen higher in this direction. We may get some idea, like arrows representing the movement of peoples between countries or regions. Here, from one location to they are moving to another location. Next is cartogram maps. Yeah, this is a very different map than all the other, because they maintain their shape, like you see the shape of this US and this US is very different. Okay? Because this maps takes a value, and according to the square of that area, and it will compare with the population, and by shrinking or by making bigger, it will make those shapes. Okay? Here, I have taken population here. Here in the Texas, the population is very less comparing to this state. Okay? So the shape of this is increased. Then, here the Texas shape is shrinked somewhat. So in those cases, we use cartograms. I think this is maybe less used map in the above all those things, because we use data visualization for especially for maps by seeing only like this. Comparing with some other, but this looks somewhat odd from other locations. Okay? That's why we use less cartogram maps or cartogram are maps where geographic areas are resized based on a variable distorting shapes to reflect the data. Okay? Like you can see you can compare the shapes. The shapes are not even so close to their regular ones. You can see the Texas was like it's not in its shape. Okay? We use these maps on internet usage, where the internet is most used. You can compare here this state, the internet users are more than other states. So it was bulky here. But when you compare to like Tennessee or small, when you compare the area of that state and comparing to this value, it will change. Like you see, Tennessee was like from here to here, but now I am here. The Tennessee was very, very little. So that means that internet usage in Tennessee is very less, but in this state, it's way higher than the normal. Okay, climate change impacts, like climate changes and literacy rates. Yeah, we can use cartograms on these use cases. Example, a world map where countries are resized according to their population, making India and China appear much larger. As we know, like India and China's population is very more than other countries. So the map is, it will be not in a good shape. So India will be so much higher, and with area is increased so much, and China's country area will be increased so much on the map. In the same way here, okay, I could have kept here world map, but I thought like we are comparing to US now. It will be a good example for us to compare both of them. So yeah, here we use the US. Yeah, these are the types of maps we can use. Okay, we need to, we can use multiple maps, like as Google Map does. Google Maps uses multiple maps to showing like location points, traveling flow map. It uses flow maps. It uses dot distribution map. It uses climate, choropleth maps. Yeah, we can use multiple maps. It is the decision we need to make. We are in, by which map we need to show which data. That's the decision we need to make. Next. Yeah, these are the tools and techs. We can data visualize by these tools and techs. Okay, here one is GIS, geographic information system. By using this software, we can add some data, and we can get the map of that related to that data. Okay. And in that we need to prepare, when we need to decide which map we are gonna use. We need to tell that map, like web-based mapping tools. Yeah, this is the most, I think, most we use. This is the most thing we use. Like we use Google Maps, Mapbox, Leaflet Maps, OpenStreetMaps. We have so many maps outside in the market. We will use those things. And Power BI. Yeah, we all know how powerful this Power BI is. This is a Microsoft software. This is a booming technology nowadays. Like everyone is going to learn Power BI. Yeah, this is also a data visualization tool. Yeah, we will use to visualize the data. Like these are some projects we made in Cogent. Yeah, we made 2 projects on the data we got. Like this is a GeoWise application, where this is a free alternative for GeoMapper in HubSpot. As we all know, like we have a GeoMapper kind of thing in the HubSpot, where it is limited. Right, we only can see 100 locations for free plan. To show all the data, we need to buy some paid plan. That is very high pricing. So we thought like we will make a website as HubSpot provides all the APIs. So we thought we will integrate those APIs in a free map. Like we are using OpenStreetMap for this, and we use the Next.js and Leaflet Maps, and we are getting those APIs. First, we try to execute those APIs directly from the front end, but it did not work. And we thought of making those APIs backend, and we thought like we will maintain only one code base for backend and front end, and we have chosen Next.js, and we all know Next.js is a popular framework of React. In this framework, we can make all the front end and back end. Yeah, here it was a use case for us. So we used Next.js for front end, and back end also we have written in the same Next.js. And we have hosted in the Vercel. Yeah, HubSpot does not allow us to make the API calls directly from the front end. We got some force error, so we made it into server, and we are executing those APIs from the front end. So here, this is the look and feel of GeoWise application. Okay, here you can search. Initially, it will load some data, and after that, you can add more data. We call it as pagination. You can add more data when required ones. You can search here. We have three ways to filters. You can filter by using category. We have some categories in the HubSpot. So we can use those categories. By using those categories, we can search the users or the companies or contacts which are present in the HubSpot. We can show here. The pagination works for all of them, and we have universal search too. This is a universal search. By typing anything, it will search entire HubSpot and get us the searched thing from the HubSpot. Like if you have searched like PHIL, I want to search Philadelphia, but I have typed PHIL. it will search for every name, every email, every city, every country where it presents PHIL. It will get all the data. After getting searched by using some filter options here, you can select like, I mean, you want from like state or you want from country, you can give them. I mean, we kept this feature because HubSpot does not allow direct searching through their API. So we thought of making like this, and we recruited. This project is in live now. Yeah, you can check this by using this link, geowisequotientdigest.com. This is one project, and I think you all guessed it. We use dot distribution map. In place of dots, we used locations. I mean location mark. Here we have showed two color location because one is contact, one is company. You can see here the orange one shows contact and the blue one shows companies. Next, GeoWise Foodie Buddy. This is also the same dot distribution map. Yeah, here we can able to see the orders of the customers from their locations. As we don't, I mean, as we have some little amount of data, we use dot distribution map. I mean, yeah, here we could have used proportional symbol map or Oropleth maps, but here the data was little low. For those data, we need like lakhs of data. It will be useful when we have much data, like Oropleth map. It will be when we have like much data, like lakhs according to the states. So we can use that code, but now we have less data, so we use dot distribution map. In the same way, GeoWise was made. Like here we need to select the date range from which date to which date we got orders. We can select here by selecting cities also. Like you will get some cities here. We call it as group IDs in Foodie Buddy. By using those things, we can filter like how many orders we got from that city, so that we can arrange some more transportations or some more restaurants or some more things in that location. It will decrease some balance, I mean, load on us. Yeah, this is Geo Foodie Buddy. And here the complex part is like I mean, here for both of the projects, we don't get locations. I mean, latitude, longitude, we won't get latitude and longitude. Without latitude, longitude, we need to locate on the map. That was the task, but we cracked it. Yeah, in the free maps, actually, I mean, we could use Google Maps or Mapbox, but it will cost us. We want to make this free and use it by everybody. So we use the OpenStreetMap, and for using free things, we need to make this. So we will get the city name and country. By using those data, like by city and country, we will find the locations of that city from that location. I mean, we may know like there will be same names from different states. For cities, we may have same city name and in different states. To get accurately, we use city, state, and country. So it will give us the list of cities. From that, we will choose the right option from the list, and we will add those latitude, longitude to our state. We will render into our map. This is also made in Next.js. Yeah, but call it yeah. Thank you. Any doubts?
So based on your experience working with maps, what would be some common mistakes that people can avoid while designing or preparing their data to be visualized in maps?
Yeah, here you visualizing the map. Definitely we need latitude, longitude. If latitude, longitude are not present, the state names, the names of their states needs to be accurately given. If that was not there, map finds very difficulty to look at them. Like we faced that problem in FoodieBuddy also. Like we got some different names. Like food truck, we got it. There won't be any food truck location available in that state. So that we are unable to point that in the map. So the names and the latitude longitude needs to be very accurately to look at in the map.
Okay. And if that data is not accurate, what's the process that you guys needed to follow so you can find the right spots?
Yeah.
Is it like a long process?
Yeah, it will be a very long process because that as we are talking, like data is a very big thing for when we are locating in the map. So if the basics are not there, there is no point of learning to future. So the basics should be very clear for it. Like if the data is irrelevant and we are trying to locate on the map, it doesn't work. And if we have like that data, we need to definitely maintain a script to run something in our database, and we need to change those names definitely.
Okay.
I think.
And do you have to do that or those scripts something that you do by hand, or how, do you hard code the values, or how is it that you manage to make sense out of the names that are not matching?
Yeah, as I said, like we have limited data, so now we will go by hand only. When the data increases, we will make that script, and when we don't have any value on that, at that time we'll change it according to that condition.
Okay. And my final question is, what would be some courses or some books or any resources that you can recommend for people starting working with maps and geolocalization?
Yeah, my best way is to just go through the map and understand how map works. Then go to, you will find the zooming thing. You can scroll it and you do something or anything on that map. You will get some more idea how map works. Then after you can go to like Udemy or like YouTube. YouTube is the best source of learning. We have so many people who can teach us much better. I mean, they are experienced definitely. By YouTube, you can learn for the maps more detail.
Okay, that sounds good. Great.
But first of all, you need to do the experiment thing.
Okay. More like a more practical approach, I would say.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Over to you, Archana. Do you have any closing comments?
I'm good for now. Any questions, anyone? I don't see any comments in the chat. Any doubts?
No, it's long.
You would like to share? Okay, all right. Then I think we are good. Thank you so much for this session, Aliva and Venkat Sai. That was definitely something informative, which I was not aware of. Surely. So, yes, thank you. Thank you so much for that. I think I'm going to stop the live streaming now.
I mean, yeah, here